Hello and welcome to GameGear TV. The SteelSeries Arctis line of headsets have strong performance and are very popular among fans. SteelSeries followed up the success of the Arctis line with the Arctis Pro series, which has received a lot of critical acclaim with titles such as Gaming Headset for Audiophiles and Best Gaming Headset Ever. Those are strong statements. So I'm going to review the Arctis Pro plus GameDac myself to see how true those statements really are. More accurately though, I'm going to be reviewing an Arctis Pro and the new standalone SteelSeries GameDac. When combined, it's the same thing as the box version of the Arctis Pro plus GameDac, right down to its recognition in SteelSeries Engine. So in this video, I'll also be testing the GameDac against the standard USB chat dial.
The headset itself is very much like the non-Pro Arctis headsets. It has the same design with the ski goggles suspension system, same retractable microphone with the addition of a foam windscreen, the same RGB lighting as the Arctis 5. RGB on a headset is not much of a selling point for me, but the lighting on the Arctis headsets is subtle enough and looks good on display when I'm not using it. SteelSeries switched up some of the materials, putting metal in the top headband and putting thicker ear cushions than the previous non-2019 Arctis headsets. On the back of the left ear cup is a flat and long mute button and the volume wheel. The ear cups have removable side plates that can be swapped out, but as far as I know, SteelSeries only offers 3 other options, and there are no third-party options that I know of. The stock plates on the black model do show oil from fingerprints. I haven't had the chance to check out the white version, but I imagine it would not be as noticeable, as I don't really notice fingerprints on the white Arctis 3 that I have. As far as comfort is concerned, they are comfortable, but I would say they are about just average or a little above. The suspension system is okay, but it's a bit tight. I have a pretty average sized head, and I have to loosen the strap up as far as it will go to feel right, and there isn't a ton of adjustment room to begin with, so keep that in mind if you have a larger head. The earweave cushions are reasonably soft, but are nowhere near as nice as the pads on something like the Lucid Sound LS35X. The GameDac is the heart of this particular show, with a cool rounded body with an ironically low-res OLED screen that has just about every function you'll find in the desktop software, SteelSeries Engine. It really is an intuitive design that I hope other companies follow. You can quickly switch between master volume and game chat balance, and also turn DTS surround sound off and on quickly. A long press of the volume knob takes you into the deeper menus. Under the audio option, you can again turn on the surround sound, cycle between EQ settings, or create a custom EQ directly from the GameDac. You can also change between low and high gain, adjust the microphone side tone level, and microphone transmit volume. Under the input option of the menu, you can change between PC, high res, and PS4. Output lets you adjust settings for external speakers or stream mixing. Display covers the OLED brightness and how long before it times out. The illumination settings allows you to cycle through various presets for the RGBs and the microphone mute color. And the About section shows you firmware and allows you to factory reset the device. There are a few extra things you can tweak in SteelSeries Engine, but having all of these options on the GameDac itself is a really nice feature, especially if you'll be playing on console. For the standard Arctis Pro, you'll get a USB hookup with a game chat dial, and all of the settings are adjusted through SteelSeries Engine. One thing that I really love about the GameDac is how well it looks with the rest of my setup. It tucks in nicely above my keyboard, and it complements the rest of my gear without being distracting.
Before I dive further into the sound and performance, I want to talk about the high-res nature of this headset. Internally, this headset features the same 40mm size drivers as the standard Arctis line. The SteelSeries expanded the range of the frequency response from 20Hz to 20 kHz on the standard Arctis line to 10 kHz to 40 kHz on the Arctis Pro. They also upped the sound pressure level from 98 decibels to 102 decibels and lowered the total harmonic distortion by about 2%. The GameDac houses an ESS Saber DAC, and they've expanded the frequency response just a little bit further, from a low of 5 Hz up to the 40 kHz. And the total harmonic distortion is around 0.0032%. The GameDac also allows high-res playback in 24-bit 96 kHz. So what does all that mean? Well, it depends on what you need out of your headset and what kind of content you're listening to. If you do a little research, the available science agrees that humans can only hear between about 20 Hz and 20 kHz. But that doesn't mean having a wider frequency response isn't good for an audio product. The general hope is if the device is capable of achieving those higher frequencies, that'll have better extension on either end and have less distortion because the device isn't being pushed to its maximum limits. And certain lower bass frequencies can be felt, even if not heard. As I mentioned, the GameDac is capable of playing back in 24-bit 96 kHz quality. As far as I know, there's no games that take advantage of this quality, but when you listen to lossless high-res tracks on something like Tidal, it can make a significant difference in the quality of the playback. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about how this headset and DAC actually perform. The different preloaded EQs all sound distinct and useful in their own way, and I was able to tailor the signature to just how I want it. SteelSeries is using DTS Headphone X version 2.0 in its entire Arctis line now after the 2019 refresh, except for the Arctis 3, and DTS X version 2.0 is a great system. Unlike a lot of other virtual surround sound options, it's positional based like Windows Sonic or Dolby Atmos. So distant sounds sound, well, distant without softening the impact of things that are up close and personal, and the positional detection is spot on. In general, the sound of this headset is full without any part of the range overpowering the rest. It does a very good job of providing tight and impactful bass while still providing clean and clear mids and highs.
One thing I found with virtual surround sound offerings is different content sounds better with different systems. Some games sound better with Dolby Atmos, and some sound better with Windows Sonic. Same thing with DTS. So I was a little disappointed to find on Windows PC that even with DTS turned off, the GameDac overrides the system and will not allow Windows Sonic or Atmos to be turned on. However, on Xbox One, I was able to turn on Sonic and Atmos, and they both worked. Interestingly enough, SteelSeries Engine states surround sound is not available in PS4 mode, which is what you have to use for Xbox, but SteelSeries' website states all the features are available on console. For what it's worth, it was evident the DTS effects were working on Xbox, and it had much better positional detection when it was on. One of my favorite games to test surround sound on is Ghost Recon Wildlands. When you play Wildlands in straight stereo, you'll hear enemy footsteps and think they're just to your front left, when in reality they are coming up behind you. I ran DTS, Sonic, and Atmos on Wildlands, and they all performed well in their own way. DTS seemed to highlight the closeness of footsteps better than the other two though, but again, there's other games that sound better with Windows Sonic or Dolby Atmos.
Here's the kicker though. On the standard Arctis Pro USB controller, you can use DTS X 2.0, Sonic, or Atmos, giving you more choice in surround sound options than with the GameDac. Also in my case, having bought the standalone GameDac, I have a nice little converter cable that allows me to use any 3.5mm headset with the GameDac or the standard USB controller. So I can hook up any headset to either system and take advantage of DTS X 2.0. At the time of this video, this adapter cable does not appear to be sold separately, but I do hope SteelSeries does so in the future. Alright, so let's talk about SteelSeries' big marketing piece for this system, high-res audio. As I mentioned before, if you kick the GameDac over into high-res mode, it switches the quality to 24-bit, 96 kHz playback. It disables DTS, the microphone, and any other audio enhancements that you have on, but you can still adjust your EQ. This feature is mainly relevant for music listening. So I fired up Tidal and listened to various high-res and master quality tracks. The sound is cleaner and more detailed, and it makes for a very pleasant listening experience. I wouldn't recommend this system though for people who are primarily interested in listening to music. Even if you get the standalone GameDac, it just doesn't have the power to push higher impedance headphones, so you'll be limited in what you can use in the future. The GameDac is also only just okay for amplification. I don't have any complaints for how loud it can get in games, but if you really want to crank it up, it's just not going to be as loud as a true audiophile amp. But if you're primarily a gamer and you want to listen to high fidelity music as a bonus, this is certainly an option. As I've already said, I did test the GameDac on Xbox One, and it works great for audio and you can adjust everything on the GameDac normally. For party chat though, you do have to use a Windows 10 device with the Xbox app on it, so it's naturally limiting on where or if you can use Xbox Party Chat. Another note about console in general is the included USB and optical cables are very short, so unless your couch is very close to your TV, you're going to need to buy longer cables.
Okay, now for a microphone test. First, I'm testing the microphone plugged into the GameDac. The microphone sounds reasonably clear and is decent at filtering out background noise, but it will occasionally pick up game or chat sounds at high volume, or it'll pick up loud typing. It is pretty good about not picking up breathing though. I tested the microphone out on Discord, Steam, Battle.net, and the Xbox app. Performance was close across the board, however the Xbox app was the worst in cancelling out background noise. With the Xbox app, it echoes game and chat sound back through the microphone, which is a letdown since you cannot use push-to-talk on the Xbox app. Okay, now switching over to the USB chat dial. Microphone performance is fairly similar with or without the GameDac, with a slight edge overall, I would say, in both audio quality and in noise canceling with the GameDac.
Microphone side tone is in real time, and it has 3 different volume levels for side tone on the GameDac, and it works really well, but it does have a constant static background noise when it's in use, so if I'm not chatting with someone, I prefer to leave the side tone off. And again, with the GameDac itself, it's very easy to change the microphone side tone level and the microphone transmit volume, which is really nice. On the standard USB dial, there are still multiple settings for side tone volume, but the side tone overall doesn't perform as well and isn't as noticeable as it is with the GameDac. Also, game chat balance is very easy to adjust with both the GameDac and the standard chat dial.
If you prefer adjusting settings on a desktop, you can load up SteelSeries Engine. From here you can adjust everything that is on the GameDac itself, along with a couple of extra things such as bass boost and dialogue boost, and you can change your surround profile between game, studio, or cinema, and stereo profile to mimic speakers in different sized rooms for a wider soundstage. I played around with these different settings and didn't really notice a difference through the GameDac, but I did notice more of a difference when running the Arctis Pro through its standard USB controller. Other differences in the software between the GameDac and standard chat dial is you're more limited on the frequencies you can adjust for EQs with the standard dial, and the standard dial also gains an adjustable microphone noise gate.
All in all, the Arctis Pro does live up to most of the hype surrounding it. It has some of the best sound I've experienced from a gaming headset, and it does better with the GameDac than it does with just the standard chat dial. And high-res music playback on the GameDac sounds good too. With the 2019 improvements to the entire Arctis line, I am curious as to how much better the audio quality is with the standard Arctis Pro compared to those. The GameDac's interface is awesome and very easy to use, and having the ability to change just about every setting right on the device is great for console use. I would like to have the option of using either Dolby Atmos or Windows Sonic on PC through the GameDac, and it would be nice if SteelSeries is able to incorporate DTS and microphone while in high-res mode in the future. And of course, as an Xbox gamer, I would love to see a fully Xbox compatible version of the GameDac. And I don't think that's too much of a stretch, considering that the upcoming SteelSeries Arctis 9X is a dedicated Xbox headset. With the current option though, I would only recommend this headset to Xbox users if you play at a desk with a PC or are comfortable with having a laptop next to you on the couch so you can use party chat. However, if you're a PC or a PS4 user and you're looking for a great all-in-one gaming headset and DAC combo, the Arctis Pro plus GameDac should be at the top of your list. And it really is a great time to pick one of these up because it's often on sale for $200 or less, making it an even better value. That wraps up this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.